As we ask you if the Utah Jazz are a NBA playoff team, right now they are. They're a half game up on the Lakers for the final play-in spot. They improbably, I said improbably, stunned the Sacramento Kings last night.
Oh, my God. They're up 20 after the first quarter. This is a gripping game. Dude, how many people got way out in front of this thing last night? How many people were like, dude, is this Bigfoot or are the Jazz actually winning a game? You guys realize they're one game under 500 right now, I think it is? Like, this is not a bad team.
No.
I couldn't believe last night. And I'm talking about the beat writers, the Tony Joneses of the world, like all these people. Oh, my God, it's incredible they're beating up on the Cavs. Are you watching the same, or the Kings? Are you watching the same game I'm watching? Because all I saw last night from the Kings was a team that showed up, thought that, Lauri's not playing, JC's not playing, right? Colin Sexton's not playing. We'll just walk through this
Cruise
team.
Control.
Yeah,
it's
we're
over.
good. We're good. We can turn the ball over 20 times.
I'm De'Aaron Fox, man.
Like, come on, dude. Like, it's like I was just really amazed by that. Like, it was incredible. And then what happened? And I think this is what Jazz fans maybe don't want to talk about, but I'm going to say it. The Jazz came back down to earth and let us down in the third quarter and then inevitably grinded the game out.
And then the guy that, is the best player on the team, Ochai Agbaji, saved him.
Yeah.
Best player on the team.
Yeah. By the way, anybody noticing that Buddy's figuring out how to shoot on the run now?
Dude. Ochai Agbaji a year ago was at Kansas.
Yeah.
Right? So I think, look at Kurt Myers. Scrubs played well. Well, I will say Udoka Azubuike actually played an NBA game last night. That's the first time I've ever seen Udoka look like a guy that belonged in the NBA.
You just have to snap out of it a little bit.
I don't know. Listen, all I will say is that was a good win.
Yeah.
And I wish, and I think it won't happen until the season's over.
Mm-hmm.
I wish people would stop talking about this team tanking.
Yeah, I'm so tired
bro,
of it.
Bro, how'd the Jazz do? They won? God damn, they can't even tank properly.
Hey, guys.
And I love the people who are like, oh, wow, let me trade away all my best players, and then I'm going to sit out my 3 best players, and we're still going to win. Oh, my God. Like with the memes of Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
They're not tanking.
Yeah.
They're not tanking. Did anything Will Hardy did last night lead you to believe they tanked? THT sucks. Was he playing? No. As we told you, Ochai Agbaji should be out there. Like you
This
look
is going to
at
happen, Tonto.
Chris Dunn. If they were tanking, would they have re-signed Chris Dunn for the rest of the year?
No.
Probably not. Chris Dunn hit a big wide open 3 last night.
Yeah.
I'm tired of hearing about tanking. The Jazz are not tanking.
Yeah.
I can only say this. I don't know how many times that our guys at the Jazz have told us repeatedly, we are not tanking.
Stay hard.
We are growing and developing players.
Yes.
We are not tanking. And I'm telling you, it's just one of those things where you absolutely have to understand that, I guess I just don't understand a better way to put it.
Yeah.
This team is going to do everything they can do to develop players. Oh, we won? Cool. Oh, we lost? Cool. We're trying to develop our young players. If Ochai Agbaji continues to improve at the rate that he's improved, the guy's a star in this league.
Yes.
If Blocker Kessler,
Dude.
Sorry, I mispronounced his name. I
Who
mispronounced.
the f*** is that guy?
If Skywalker, my bad. If Moonwalker Kessler,
I am your father.
did you see the stat this morning? Like he's got twice as many blocks as anybody else on his level. Like the guy is a star now. Now, is he getting dunked on? Yeah. Is he blocking shots with both hands? Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Like he's playing incredible basketball.
Yes.
Does it suck that Lauri Markkanen's out? It does. But I'm telling you now, you have development happening on this team every single possession.
Yes.
And I thought it was really interesting last night that Will Hardy actually pulled THT out of this game. And I loved it because he was horrendous.
It's really despicable.
Talon Horton-Tucker last night played 21 minutes, 3 of 9, 0 of 2 from 3, 4 turnovers.
It's ridiculous.
A -8 10 points.
Because it's garbage.
Note I said 21 minutes. Note that Chris Dunn got 31 minutes off the bench.
Yes.
Plus 11, 7 of 12, 2 of 2 from 3, 10 dimes, 2 boards, a steal, a block, 18 points.
Yeah.
Play the guy that's contributing.
Yes. By the way, I'd say Chris Dunn's a better defender, too.
He is a better defender. I'm telling you, the guy's got depth. But you love seeing Johnny Juzang, even if it was for a cup of coffee. You like seeing Doak put up 13 and 8. I thought that was huge. 6 of 6 from the floor.
Yeah.
This team's growing. This team's developing. This team is getting better and better and better.
They're not tanking.
Unrelated to wins and losses. But isn't it nice to see a guy like Ochai Agbaji performing under pressure in a game win or lose situation?
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
It is. And the fact that Walker Kessler had 5 blocks last night, I thought the left-handed block on Sabonis was...
And especially after Sabonis had a couple of nice plays on Walker, to come back and do that, I thought was nice.
Incredible. Now, defensively, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, I've been on this all season.
There were some moments there that
Walker Kessler needs to put weight on this summer. I mean, he has to do it.
But if you look at like Malik Monk was a minus 24 for Sacto last night.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
But you look at De'Aaron Fox. I don't know what suppository he inserted, but he's playing some of the best point guard in the league.
Stay hard.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, he's got good flow, shooting the ball in rhythm.
Shooting the ball in rhythm. He was 6 of 9 from 3 last night.
Yeah, dude.
That he is legitimately. He's an MVP candidate at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when, but by the way, Harrison Barnes done. That is not
the Black Falcon.
That's not a top 5 player on a championship team anymore.
Yeah.
That was rough, but I don't. It's a good win. There's no doubt about that. I don't think there's any way to spin that.
Yeah.
To hold Sabonis to 11 points.
It's impressive, dude. There's no way around that. It is impressive. And again, that's what I say. I just don't think that you can get too high and low on this team in game. If they get out to a 20-point lead, they're giving that lead up. It's going to happen. And then just the same way, once they give up the 20-point lead, then they're going to claw their way to the end of the game. And sometimes they'll lose those games, but I thought last night they did a good job. I particularly thought they did a great job in the last 2 minutes. You notice that, you're fighting for rebounds on that last possession, and you didn't get them, but the Kings couldn't make a basket, dude. It is what it is. It's a make or miss league.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was really impressed. It was not nearly as impressive as King Julius's performance for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, at some point I'm not saying they won the game. I'm not saying...
I know.
But at some point you got to put some respect on the name.
I don't think so.
Why? What more does Julius Randle have to do?
Julius Randle, James Harden, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, they all have one thing in common. They don't win. And that's what matters, dude.
Denver's the best team in the Western Conference.
Yeah, but what does that mean? They've been a good team
for but we haven't been
years,
in the playoffs
dude.
yet this year.
Right, but
this is very clearly the best version of the Denver Nuggets we've seen under Nikola Jokic, and I think this is his best version.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've put on the Knicks, you've put Julius Randle in a position where he doesn't have to do everything Julius. Because I think when you sign Jalen Brunson, it takes Julius Randle off the ball, so he no longer has to be a point guard. I think that's a huge distinction.
But isn't that what we got last night? I mean, he wasn't playing point guard, but last night was do everything Julius. Last night it was get it to him because he's hot.
And he gave you 57 points. But the difference is you can't constantly double him. Because Jalen Brunson, now last night Brunson was off his game, admittedly, and quickly in the fourth quarter was terrible, as was Julius. But I don't know at what point you start paying respect to Julius Randle.
My struggle is that take winning and losing and put it aside.
Mm-hmm.
My struggle is last night, Julius Randle's having the game of his life.
Yes.
In the most important moment, when they needed him to get a bucket after he had done what he had done in the game, he turned it over. He did. He got stripped, he turned it over, and then he was emotional and was throwing things on the bench. That's why I'm not a fan.
He got a technical foul because he threw the ball against the stanchion, which is an automatic technical foul in the NBA. He has trouble controlling his emotions.
Yeah, so that's my point. That's my issue. I'm not saying that he sucks. That's not what I'm saying. You want me to say that he's this greatly improved player and that I really like Julius.
I think Julius Randle, if Julius Randle is not top 5 for MVP voting, there shouldn't be an MVP award. Should he win it? No, absolutely not. Joel Embiid should be the MVP. Nikola Jokic should be second. He should be top 5 because the pressure that he is under in New York, the fact that the Knicks have been trying to trade him for 2 years, and the fact that they went out and got Brunson, and he's not only gotten better, he's gotten much better. I don't know what more Julius Randle could do. I think the only thing you can complain about is his inability to control his emotions.
I struggle with the concept of him having pressure. Because what happens if they trade him? Like,
it depends on where they put him. I mean, they should have traded him to the Bulls. If they'd have traded him to the Bulls, now we're having a conversation about the Bulls.
Yeah.
But they didn't make the trade with the Bulls, and I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, man. I'm just not really the guy that's like, yeah, this guy is really improving and really doing great things when repeatedly, and it's not just Julius. Like, you see this across the league all the time. These guys have huge nights, but then they can't keep the composure. They can't keep themselves in check, which in my opinion is what you need to be.
But that's been Julius for years now.
But it's unacceptable for it to be Julius to turn the ball over there. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, he can score with the best of them. Yes, he's a problem on the block. He is. He will dominate you. He has no problem doing it. Like, he is. I'm happy to say that. But I don't like that I'm watching a Knicks game and I'm like, all right, hey, man, having the game of your life, just got home. I know you got 40, listening in the car, right? Like, yeah. I know you're having a great game, but what's going to happen at the end of this game? If you won last night, if you hadn't turned it over, if you had closed that game and shown me, okay, I don't care about what happened earlier in the game, because it literally doesn't matter at that point in the game. You close the game, you handle the business, you come out on top. Yeah. Then I'm like, okay, this guy's improved. He's shown me that, yes, you can put it in the hole, but that your team wins as part of that. And that's what I struggle with Harden, with Joel. Joel might be the best example. The guy, in my opinion, I'm not here for like Cowherd and all these other guys talking about how Joel doesn't work hard. Like Paul Pierce saying Joel doesn't work hard. I think it was Paul Pierce said Joel doesn't work hard. You're off your rocker, dude. You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, Joel works his ass off, and that's why he puts up numbers every single night. But his teams don't win, and that's what I struggle with, man.
I don't disagree with that. DeLambo says, watch the Knicks get knocked out in the first round. Absolutely could happen.
So, but see, that goes both ways, though. So if Julius and Jalen get through the first round and get to the second round, and maybe they lose in 7 to, let's say, Boston, just as an example. Okay, you had a great season, and you improved. Now you deserve credit.
Yeah. Yep. Mayor McCluskey says regular season means jack squat, and Jake is 100% correct. All those dudes won't win when it matters. Well, let's talk about it after they don't win. Because I'm seeing a different James Harden, a different Joel Embiid, a different Knicks altogether. I think Thibodeau is killing them.
I would agree the Knicks are much different than they've been. I would agree with that.
They're a different Sacramento Kings team.
Yes.
You know, like I just...
De'Aaron Fox. Dude, De'Aaron Fox. Great example of
different
this.
Player.
Don't care that you were 6-9 from 3. Don't care. Literally could care less because you didn't win the game. You missed when your team needed you to make.
Yeah. Let's see. The Great Dane. Unless Markkanen is going for Napoleon Dynamite look, JC needs to help with the wardrobe. Well, he had on a suit. I mean, I thought he looked good. James Knight, what's up, James? The Bucks have a deeper roster with superstars. They have a superstar. They don't have superstars.
Yeah, I think Chris Middleton's tired, dude. I think he's played a lot of basketball.
I don't know
career.
what he is, but the problem with the Bucks right now is that when Giannis plays and plays well, they win. But they need somebody to step up behind him consistently now to win games.
Right.
You know, it was Brook Lopez who had a huge game. But typically that's been Drew Holiday. But I don't know, like it's not Chris Middleton. They're not getting, in my opinion, Bobby Portis has been up and down. Mm-hmm. They talked about trading him at the deadline. I think that they've got to find somebody on their bench. You know, just looking at their depth chart, like, I mean, Pat Connaughton has been a different player this year than he was last year.
Yeah.
Joe Ingles is starting to push 20 minutes every night, and I think that's a mistake because he's just not that guy anymore. He's not a young guy. Their starting five is going to have to win them games.
Yeah, if I was coaching the Bucks and it pertained to Joe Ingles, I'd be watching the box score because if we're in the second quarter and Joe doesn't have 5 3-point attempts, there's a problem. I want Joe Ingles shooting from the corner. That's what I want. And again, James, I know you're a big Joe Ingles guy. It's no slight to Joe. I think Joe has done a fantastic job coming back from the ACL. I think he's playing well, clearly, as you just said, they're upping his minutes. But I'm not going to play him based on minutes. I want to play him based on attempts. I want to see him put himself in a position to get the ball in the corner or on the wing for 3. And I'd like to see him be 3 of 5, 3 of 6.
You cannot continue to play Joe Ingles 25, 27, 29
that's not going to end well, dude.
I mean, in my opinion, it's a mistake. Milwaukee's a good team.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Milwaukee's a good team, but I think you're asking for trouble.
My fear with that is not that he would suck. My fear with that is he'd have a setback injury because you played him too many minutes. We see that all the time in the league.
Yeah. Travis Bird says Joker is the MVP. I don't think so. I think Joel Embiid has done more than enough. I think Joel Embiid is dominated, dude.
Yeah.
Like the guy, like you look at some of his, have you guys looked at some of his numbers? I think the knee-jerk reaction is that Joel Embiid is not the MVP. But if you look at him, they're 25 games over 500. Number one. And if you look at their roster, they don't have, it's not as though they have a bunch of dudes who are just killers. It's him and James Harden. And they routinely start PJ Tucker, who doesn't give them much. And they really need Maxey to step up in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Joel, the guy's putting up 34 points a night.
Yeah.
He's giving you 10 boards, 4 dimes, a steal, 2 blocks. And he's played 58 games. He's played 58 games. He's got 33.6. James Harden is next at 21. Maxey at 20, and then it's all the way down to Tobias Harris at 14.
Yeah.
Like, it's him. He is 25 games over 500. They are, and I don't know. You take Joel Embiid off that roster. What are they? Yeah, they are not a playoff team.
No.
Their money's way out of whack. Like,
yes.
And again, I think you take Jokic off of Denver. Yeah, I totally understand. Jokic is a guy that's imperative in really in all phases of their game, but they've got talent that can win them games. And I think a big part of their success is that Gordon stayed healthy and MPJ has got legs again.
Yeah.
Because his back is clearly, that dunk he had over Jokic the other night was incredible. But I don't know. I don't know. If Joel Embiid doesn't win the MVP this year, I don't think he'll ever win it.
Yeah. Because
I just don't know what else he can do, man. You know.
No,
Travis Bird says Bulls are hot garbage. Terrible. Jet Wayman, the Tile King of Utah. Imagine Spider, Brunson, and Randall on that team. Dude.
Yeah.
The Knicks are you cannot tell me they do not regret making that trade.
Donovan Mitchell's an MVP in that situation.
Dude, it's crazy. Ben Novak says, catching up on the episode and enjoying the wrestling talk, there's going to be a biopic movie on Von Erich called The Iron Claw. The NWO days were awesome with Scott Hall doing the hey-oh.
Yeah.
Hey-oh. Yeah, he was amazing. Like I said, what do we got ticket-wise? I know we've given away a bunch of has anybody DM'd you, Jake?
I believe I do have DMs, yes.
With your wrestling stories?
I have 3 DMs.
I like it. Travis Bird says Big Daddy Magic can always put it into home. Wow. I don't want an explanation.
No.
I don't want an explanation. Jorge says guys refuse to tank despite Danny's effort to make the Jazz lose. Effort to make the Jazz lose.
Yeah, sorry, dude. That's not what it is, dude. Yeah.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. McKinley Cutler, the Cookie King of Utah. Fizdale and Hardy were 2 of the most important pickups this offseason.
Agreed.
Yeah. People laughed at me when I told you, oh, hey, Will Hardy is going to be the next head coach of the Jazz. Oh, no. They need experience. No, they don't need experience.
Yeah.
They need a guy who can grow into the job.
Agreed.
Let's see. DeCobber 1981. Will Lauri ever get an award? Probably not. He clearly should get most improved player.
Yeah.
I mean, Lauri Markkanen's season,
he was not
I think
this guy
he'll win
with
that.
other teams, dude. He
No.
was not this guy.
No, I agree. The Great Dane. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I don't think Ochai is Donovan, but dang, dude, I'm becoming a big fan. Some serious promise. They don't have a Donovan on this roster.
Yeah, he's not even close to Donovan.
So, yeah, the no-hitter is gone for Japan. The no-hitter is gone for Japan as Mike Trout is doubled in the first. I was hoping for a no-hitter tonight.
Yeah, it didn't happen, bro.
It's over. DeLambo says, I'm here for Boston 76ers or Nuggets to win the chip this year. This Jaylen Brown thing's getting out of pocket in Boston. Should the Boston Celtics trade Jaylen Brown? As we tell you that all of our NBA talk on the Monty program. Hey, Monty. Is presented by our good friends at Quick Quack Car Wash. Quick Quack Car Wash, the best part about Quick Quack is every time you go in there, you're getting an awesome car wash. That's the bottom line. You are getting an awesome car wash. When you go to Quick Quack Car Wash, make sure, you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. But bring the kids because, a lot of us have sunroofs or, your kids usually are in a car seat in the back seat. You can see all the lights, all the different colored soaps as they drop on the side windows and on the windshield. Your kids love it. You're getting really friendly service. And again, the car looks great. They give you free vacuums. They give you free damp towels. And I love that their vacuums have the accessory attachment. You get 2 hoses, one for the floor and one for all of your cup holders and whatnot. I'm telling you, Quick Quack is the best car wash experience that you're going to have. We saw them in Arizona last week. We regularly go. I have a membership. My spot is the district in South Jordan, Utah. I'm telling you, you have a chance to get to Quick Quack Car Wash. You should, because the bottom line is when you go to Quick Quack Car Wash, the one thing you need to be careful of is people can't stop and they won't stop.
Okay, guys, I'm going to tell you the secret to impressing my neighbors, the wife, coworkers, you name it. I just swing by Quick Quack. It seriously takes 2 minutes, and people can't stop, won't stop checking me out. Getting a clean car is definitely my best life hack. Kids are messy. Camping's dirty, but my truck sure isn't.
Yeah, hook it up. Quick Quack Car Wash presents all of our Utah Jazz and NBA talk right here on the Monty Show. If you are here, please hit the like button. We really appreciate that. The Great Dane says, Monty, you say The Great Dane because zit is a fun to say. Okay. Okay. Gary, what's up, my guy? Says, Audi Lehigh has an RS7. I need the markets to bottom so I can rip money to buy that car.
Dude, I'm with you, bro. I'm
telling
with
you. It is what it is, man. Kurt Meyer says, Trout gets on base. Yes, he did. Brandon Butler says, Brown to the Jazz. We have his former coach and GM. My tinfoil hat is very shiny.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, Jaylen is just a malcontent right now. And, he talks a lot. He's a powerful guy in the players union, talking about how, we'll see what they think of me. Like, dude, you need to act like you're a star, man, because you are a star. You just haven't been able to get over yet because Jason Tatum's on your team. That's the problem.
Well, that's interesting. Does Jaylen Brown work on the Jazz? I don't think he's a number 1 player on a championship team.
No. Second tier.
I think he is Lauri Markkanen.
But better.
The question is, I don't know if he's better than Lauri Markkanen.
I think he is. I think he's more athletic. I think he's a better scorer. I think he can do more for you.
I mean, Lauri plays at all 3 levels.
Mm-hmm.
Shoots really well. Shoots free throws really well. I mean, I think the question is, are either one of them a leader on a championship team? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. But I think you want both of them on your team,
I mean, I'm not kicking either one of them out of bed, right? I mean, I'm not. So, but that's just me. McKinley Cutler, the Cookie King of Utah, says Brown for Sexton, Clarkson, and 3-4 picks. No, I'm good. I'm not interested. I'm not a Jaylen Brown guy. Some of what he says pisses me off. I agree with you.
Yeah.
He doesn't strike me as a confident leader.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to pay him, I need to look up what his year by year is. But
Too much.
If I'm going to pay him, I need him to be an absolute stud. I need him to be a guy that I don't ever have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
He's making $25 million a year. And if I'm going to pay him that kind of deal, and next year he's going to get 30, if I'm going to pay him that kind of money, I need him to be an absolute stud. Excuse me, he's getting 28.7 this year. 23% of their salary cap.
Yeah.
And I think he was a big reason they didn't win last year.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's not a number one, but I do think he's a valuable piece on a championship club. And yeah, Danny's intimately familiar with him, obviously. I'm not going to sit here and say they're pursuing him because I don't think they are. But, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's definitely valuable.
Look, I don't dislike him as a player. He's just not a number one. This team's priority needs to be finding an alpha.
Yeah. Yep.
You got to go get a superstar. You have to replace Donovan Mitchell. That's your job. You have to. I don't think there's any question that we're all okay with the Donovan trade.
Yes.
I don't think there's any question about that.
Nope.
What I am not okay with is not having an alpha male, not having a superstar on this team. I think that's a huge problem. And when I look at the way the Utah Jazz are built, I'm not a believer in Jordan Clarkson as a starting five guy on a championship team. I am not a believer that Lauri Markkanen's an alpha. And I think that you have some really nice pieces, right? But you need a number one point guard, and you need a bona fide superstar.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Preferably who's not a point guard.
Yeah.
Because I want a wing player that's a bona fide superstar.
Yeah.
That's a number one. And I am not a Jaylen Brown guy. I need a Devin Booker. I need a Kevin Durant. I need that dude.
Yeah.
And I frankly, again, I don't know who that is because I'm not a believer in centers. I think Jokic is a guy that is much like Embiid. They're one-offs.
Me?
Right? But if you look at the guys that power these teams, it's the Steph Currys. It is the Klay Thompsons. It is, again, Draymond Green in his prime was absolutely a difference maker.
Yes.
You look at the best teams in the NBA now, I look at Giannis Antetokounmpo, right? He's an oddity because he's a 4, but he can't shoot a 3, but now he's turned himself into an unbelievable mid-range player.
Yeah.
So he's grown and developed into an MVP caliber player. I think that makes a huge difference.
I mean, it's I think that centers, that's why I say, everyone's all, hot to trot about Jokic and Embiid winning MVP, but what I'm saying is that if you set that aside, I mean, are they even the best players in the league? Are they even the guys that you look at and you're like, hey, yeah, these guys are probably going to win a championship at some point?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Jokic I struggle with because I think he's passive. I think that they run everything through him, but I think he's looking to pass first, and then scoring is second. And then, but you look at Kevin Durant, scoring is his job. That's what he does, and he does it at a pretty high level. So it really is not even, hey, what do the stats say? It's how they go about getting those numbers. And again, that's my whole thing on Julius or even Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's a perfect example, dude. Not showing up in the playoffs, not being that dude. It's cool that you went for 50 in the regular season, but where were you when it mattered? And that's what I think a lot of these guys have to get over the hump. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying that, Julius being at whatever he was, I think he was at 55 or 53 or whatever he was when he turned it over. I'm not saying it's easy to have the stamina to keep going, but what I am saying is that if you want to be that guy, great expectation comes with great responsibility. And that's why, that's why I have the stance I have. So, yeah, is Jaylen Brown that dude? No, he's not a number one on a championship team.
And he's not a lockdown defender.
He's not.
You can be a number 2 or a 1A if you can be a lockdown defender, but he's neither of that. So, I don't know. I think it's interesting. It'll be really interesting to see exactly how all this plays out. But I think that when I look across this league, the teams that are legit, they have studs on the wings. And it's one of the things that really worries me about the Lakers. If LeBron does come back, that's a tough team to beat now.
Yes.
If you look at the way that I mean, right now, Austin Reeves is a critical performer on that team, and I know I seem to talk about him all the time, but what is he? He's a wing player.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at Sacramento, they play fast with a bunch of dudes on the wing. I mean,
Yes.
they have a really mobile big in Sabonis who does a bunch of really nice things, including get his shot block last night like 11,000 times. But I don't know. I think that this team is going in the right direction.
Yeah.
I would feel very positive.
Yeah.
Very positive.
Yeah.
Jorge says everything was okay with Quinn leaving, Gobert trade. If we would have kept DM, hell of a team.
Maybe.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have the assets you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wouldn't.
Yeah.
So, and you only got those because you're tanking. I'm kidding. It was a joke. I'm kidding.
Dude, you're gonna set the
hey,
whole...
Monty said they're tanking.
Hey, Monty reported on the Monty Show that they're tanking.
Everybody is outraged.
He said, "Trust me, bro.
Yeah.
Trust me."
Those damn YouTube hacks.
And he was pretty bricked up when he said it too. So,
Yeah, you know?
I'm so bricked up right now.
that could mean so many different things. So many different things. Gary says, at best, JB is like a third best on any team. He will never be the guy, but he will be one of the guys. Yeah, I agree with that. Some of the voices of my childhood were Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan, and Mean Gene Okerlund. Bobby the Brain Heenan. So misunderstood.
Yeah.
So misunderstood. You know. Ruff's official, who's a member of the show now.
Yeah.
Lauri's averaging 25 and 9. Don averaged 27 and 4, and no drama from Lauri. There was no drama from Don.
Yeah.
I mean, Donovan Mitchell's a far, far better build-around player than Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah.
I mean, that's very clear. McKinley Cutler says Jokic is a traffic cone on defense, and that instantly disqualifies him from the MVP combo for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it doesn't disqualify him for the people who actually vote, which sucks.
Yeah, seriously. Jet Wayman, the Towel King of Utah. Imagine Giannis coming to the Utah Jazz. Oof.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
Gary says stay hard.
Stay hard.
I agree. I agree you should, but I don't know, man. We'll see. Are the Utah Jazz going to make the playoffs?
Yeah, I think they'll make the play-in. I do.
You do?
I think they will surprise people.
Lakers?
No.
You.
Oh.
Why do you? Who hurt you, Jake?
Because it's the Lakers.
Who
they
hurt you?
disappoint every year.
Minnesota.
Man.
They're getting Carl and they're getting
I know.
Ant back.
But I don't trust them either.
OKC. I'm telling you.
I want to say no to all these teams, but one of them has to make it. Like
the OKC schedule is, I would rather have somebody drop a ball ping hammer on my nuts. I mean,
Which is, just kind of weird.
Yeah, that was probably over the top. LA, Portland, Charlotte, Detroit, Indiana, Phoenix, Golden State, Utah, Memphis. No,
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Good luck.
You're not
Ja
making the
comes back
playoffs.
tomorrow, by the way. Anybody care?
Dude,
Guess we're just moving on now.
Ja Morant, yeah. Oh, he's in therapy.
Oh.
Ja Morant is a delicate flower.
Oh.
And he needed therapy. The hose really did damage, deep-seated damage.
Yeah, his hands are really tired from
know.
throwing up all those Crip signs.
Okay, wow. Maybe a lot too much, but
I don't think it's too much. Dude threw up gang signs repeatedly. Dude was living that life. And now all of a sudden I'm going to get asked
he grew
to...
up poor in the inner city.
He went to private school. He wasn't poor. I got news for you.
He did not grow up poor.
Like, the
The
job thing
hypocrisy
is
is amazing. The hypocrisy is amazing. The 8-game suspension means nothing. Yeah. The Ja thing is frustrating for me.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like it happened, and then, you know, he I don't even really feel like he got suspended. This is what we do now in sports. Oh, he's going to be away from the team. And then, you know, your commissioner comes out and says, okay, we're suspending him 50 games, and he's already served 47 games, so he's going to get 3 games. Like, come on, dude.
What would you have liked to happen?
I'd like to have seen 20. I think they can't do 50 because they don't have proof about the gun on a plane and, you know, like that whole thing. You don't have the proof to justify 50. But 8 games is incredibly light, and I don't think it teaches him a lesson, and I don't even believe that he actually went to therapy. I don't.
Wow. So you think they made that up?
Yeah.
You think they made that up?
Yeah, I think he's been chilling. I think he's been resting. I think he's been lifting. I think
Okay.
he's been nourishing his body, and they're going to go on a run when he comes back tomorrow.
Okay. Listen, man, I think, yeah. Okay. Ruff's official says Jokic consistently plays 70 games and Embiid plays 50, 60. That's the difference. What does that have to do with the MVP? What does that, are you asking which player I'd rather have? Well, we haven't had that conversation today. We're talking about who's the NBA MVP. Well, that'd be Joel Embiid, who is essentially raising his family on his own. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Tyler Dopp, Monty, why does the jaw thing bug you? Because we need in this world to have consequences. Our stupidity needs to come with consequences. Because as they always say, hey, man, with great responsibility comes great expectations. And when you don't meet those expectations, again, it's Nick Saban. When you're going to be in a car that's going 141 miles an hour, you're going to have an unregistered firearm, you're going to have 8 ounces of weed and $7,000 in cash, and you're going to run from the cops? Yeah, you can't play football at Alabama. You were in a strip club with a gun in your hand, and you live stream that. You can't play for the Memphis Grizzlies right now.
Or apparently you can.
You just can't. We're paying you tens of millions of dollars. Powerade is paying you tens of millions of dollars. Nike's paying you tens of millions of dollars. And you need to go to the club with a gun on a live stream and stick your face in the crotch of a stripper with a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that that's not great responsibility. It's remarkable to me that in this world, we routinely want to do stupid shit and not have any repercussions.
You have to be nice to stupid people.
And whether you're, again, I always talk about sex and politicians.
Pitino.
There's Rick Pitino. Rick Pitino got hired at St. John's today. After paying a woman $3,000 to get an abortion because they had sex, by his words, in 15 seconds. And then he didn't get fired for that.
Dude.
Motherfucker, he didn't get fired. Wait, let me give it straight. He's your head basketball coach. He had sex with a woman outside of his marriage in an Italian restaurant. It lasted 15 seconds. She got pregnant. He paid for an abortion. She tried to blackmail him, and you didn't fire him for that. Oh. And then today, he gets the job at St. John. And everybody rejoices.
I just want to thank you all.
Because he wins games, so we whitewash it.
Yep.
Sweep it under the rug. Never happened.
Yep.
Abortion? What? No. Red storm up. Let's go.
Yep.
Right. You have politicians who are getting their cigar smoked in their Oval Office.
I'm so bricked up right now.
Bill Clinton got impeached. What was the real repercussion for that? Nothing. Look at Donald Trump. Like, Donald Trump is potentially going to get indicted by a porn star. It doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with it. The former president of the United States is probably going to get indicted by a porn star.
It's actually not that easy, but for me it was easy.
What are we doing? You've got to have repercussions for your actions. And in this country, we don't. We want to excuse it because he's a really good basketball player or he's an excellent basketball coach. I don't care.
Suckmyass.com.
I don't care.
Yeah.
There should be repercussions for that. That's my issues with John Morant. McKenna Tech Dan, I chugged that entire can of bucked up out of the bucked up bong.
Yeah, dude.
Not a two.
Dan, were you here for it?
Not a 2-pump chump.
Yeah. Dan, were you here for it?
Oh, you mean Rick Pitino. My bad. Zigret Dane says Ja is on the precipice of having the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
Yeah.
If he doesn't change his way, let's go. Trey Turner. Home. You're such a jerk.
What?
Trey Turner hit another one. His 5th home run of the tournament.
Let's go,
Solo
dude.
shot, USA up 1-0.
Cue up the drug test.
Let's go. Exactly right. McKinley Cutler, the Cookie King of Utah. I hate the Ja situation because this might make him feel more invincible. And he might do even stupider things until he does something unforgivable and ruins his life. Yeah, totally agree. Hullabilly says, out of pocket, Jake.
What?
What's better, that game-winning call by Japan or do you remember the Kawhi Leonard the Kawhi Leonard Japanese radio call when he hit the rim like 7 times in Toronto against Philly?
Yeah, dude.
That was amazing. Ginder says Trey Turner for president. Probably. Trump is living the American dream. It's not really a Trump thing. The problem is he's the former president of the United States, you guys. And he's getting undone by a porn star.
What really do we have to lose?
You're getting undone by, and this is the thing that always gets guys of power.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Like Bill Clinton got undone by an intern.
I'd love it to be wider.
And her dress. Like, how? Bro, you got impeached because you left yourself on her dress.
Cold-blooded
my
clean
guy.
talk on
Like,
authority.
hello?
Dude.
What are you doing?
Yeah, probably shouldn't be doing that, dude.
What are you doing? Right? Like, anyway.
Yeah.
All these dudes that...
All of them.
All these dudes that can't handle sex. And
Yeah.
John Morant's no different. Bro, you carry... Let me get this right. You just signed a Powerade deal. You just signed a Nike deal. You're one of the faces of the NBA, Ja. So you're going to live stream with a gun in a strip club. That seems what it is. Seems like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Let me get this right. You're a 4-star DB at Alabama. So you're going to put a gun, allegedly, in your car with 8 ounces of weed, $7,000 in cash, and you're going to speed down the freeway in Florida at 141 miles an hour.
Fucking A.
Let me get this right. You're Jalen Carter. You are, by most people regard, the number 1 player in the 2023 NFL draft. The best player.
Yeah.
And you guys just won your national championship again. So let me get this right. You're going to get in a Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. You're allegedly going to street race with a teammate and a football staffer. They're going to die in a car accident.
Doesn't make you feel responsible.
And you're going to lie about it at 2:30 in the morning, I believe it was. Because you think you're bulletproof.
Yeah.
You think it can't happen to you.
Yeah.
You're Plaxico Burress in the club dropping a gun down his leg. And you wound up in jail for it.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You did.
Right? Jalen Carter just pled no contest in Georgia to this. And Mel Kiper has him 6th in his mock draft. He's still going to get drafted in the top 10. Like, this is the fucked up part.
Yeah.
He's still going to get drafted top 10 in the NFL draft. And he was at the scene. At the least, he was at the scene. Like, and I want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah.
Jalen Carter, do you guys understand what it means when you plead no contest?
Uh-huh.
It means that you're like, yeah, I'm going to throw my hands up.
Yeah.
Please have mercy on me. Right?
Yeah.
Jalen Carter pled no contest to reckless driving and street racing.
Uh-huh.
In an incident where 2 people died, and the person driving the other car was twice the Georgia legal limit. You left the scene, then lied about where you were, allegedly, and you're going to face no repercussions for that. Now, did it cost you money? It did. Are you going to jail? No. Are you not going to play in the NFL? No, you are. You're going to get drafted in the top 10. So you're going to be rich, probably generational wealthy. You failed miserably at your pro day. Top 10 draft pick, still going to be generationally wealthy.
Fat.
2 people are dead, and there's no repercussions for it.
Yep.
They're not felonies. They won't be on his record for the rest of his life. This is who we are. This is what we do.
So you can do whatever you want, and you get no repercussions.
But why?
Because
you're either rich or you're really good at sports.
Better send those refunds.
Other than that, I'd be in jail if I did what Jalen Carter did.
Or you could be really good at coaching basketball teams, you know.
But even then, look at Rick, and Rick Pitino's a really good example of this. Again, I want to make sure you guys understand this. Rick Pitino, who calls himself a devout Catholic,
in God's name, image, and likeness,
cheated on his wife with a friend's wife, and he said in court it lasted no more than 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure, bud.
She tried to extort you after you paid for her abortion, allegedly, that you testified to in court. And then, just so we're all on the same page, you didn't get fired at Louisville for that. You got hired at Iona, and now you got hired at St. John. Even after you've had multiple NCAA scandals, your first job ever in the NCAA. At Hawaii, you had an NCAA violation. At Louisville, ultimately you got unwound by NCAA violations. And you paid for an abortion, and you cheated on your wife in an Italian restaurant, and you lied about it, and then she tried to extort you, which meant you were trying to cover it up, and she forced you to become public with it, then sued you, and you still keep getting jobs.
What now? Let me tell you what now.
What else do you have to do?
Maybe we're living, this whole chaste life thing, maybe this whole live a morally, choice life, maybe that's not the way to get rich. Goddamn. Maybe I need to get a stripper and stick my face in her crotch with a gun in my hand so Powerade will sponsor the show.
Yeah, I mean, at least Ja could have done Powerade a favor in the gun video. I mean, at least have a Powerade cup in your hand.
And I don't mean to rail about this, you guys. You're probably tired of hearing me talk about
this
already.
But I think it's justified, dude.
God damn.
Justified, man.
I'm just so far over this.
Dude, if I went out and drove 140 tomorrow, I'd be in jail and we wouldn't do the show.
Gary says 15 seconds or more can save you 15% or more by switching to Trojan. Brandon Butler says, would it have been okay in a Mexican or Chinese restaurant? Well, I'm not going to make a sushi joke. I'm not going to make a taco joke. I'm certainly not going to make a burrito joke. Hola Billy says, I could listen to y'all go off on anyone all night long. Thank you. and then the Tile King of Utah, who is also known as the great slayer of Draper moms.
Yeah.
It's actually not that easy, but for me it was easy.
Says strippers with a drooling emoji. Am I the only guy?
Hookers, my friend.
Seriously, am I the only guy that doesn't like strippers?
Okay, well,
I must be the only guy. Again, I will say pornography is the great destroyer of men.
How the fuck else would you do this job?
But I can at least understand why dudes use pornography. Hey, man, you need to shoot your shot. Hey, I get it. Dude, in her, your face, you're not.
Excellent strategy, sir.
It's your nose, dude. That's your nose, man. You put your.
Don't touch me there. That, sir, is my no square.
Every night. My goddamn boy.
Stay hard.
I watch Mayor of Kingstown. I know how hoes work. She's in the champagne room
Stay
3
hard.
times a night, dude. What? And
Stay hard.
Your nose. Oh,
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
It's not Carl's Jr. It doesn't need to be all over your face, right? It just doesn't. What are we doing? Do you know how many customers God.
Yeah, this is much more Burger King. Have it your way, right?
Seriously, I want to shop at Tiffany. I don't want to shop at Walmart. You shopped at Walmart with your nose, dude.
And you did self-checkout.
Right? No, you held the place hostage with a gun while live streaming it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the affinity for strippers. Do you understand? God, my.
Stay hard.
They're like Jiffy Lube, dude. In and out, boom. And then the next customer, they check their oil too. What are you doing?
I'm so bricked up right now.
I've never understood the stripper thing. And I know. I'm this dude, like,
Let me get us in the mood with some music here. Hang on. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get in the mood here.
Here I was hoping for like some like porn from the 70s music. But like, you know what I don't understand? And somebody needs to help me with this. Right? I went to a bachelor party when I lived in Sacramento at a strip club. We went go-kart racing. We went to, I believe, B-dubs and got wings, and then went to the strip club.
You didn't get wings at the club?
No. Oh, that's a tie game.
Time to stop the music.
That's a tie game.
Meryl Kelly getting absolutely lit.
Oh, my God. Munetaka Murakama. Your mama just left. Yeah, dude, upper deck. Anyway, so we go to this, and it's not a nice strip club. Like the parking lot, it's a Soprano strip club. Let's be honest, right? Like the parking lot's got potholes. No. I vividly remember they had like what they called an arcade. And I'm just sitting there, and the first thing is like we're sitting there drinking drinks, whatever. At this point, I guess I am. How old am I? I am 30 years old, right? And we're there with a bunch of dudes, and the strippers are not.
You fucking donkey.
I mean, the produce is not fresh.
They're not tier 1.
Right, exactly.
They're not tier 1.
This is much more tier 3.
Yeah.
We're talking about Apple TV here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, okay, that's fine, right? They're working. Look, they're trying to pay their way through college. I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, we understand.
And then they're like, okay, by the way, and the disco music stops, and like the greasy slimy guy's like, all right, everybody, welcome to Candy's Playhouse.
That's right, T.
We have
Candy's Playhouse.
We got a
Hey, Monty.
Hey, Monty. Good to see you, bud. Peace out. Hey, look, here at Candy's Playhouse, we really like to do well by our customers. My guy, Jimmy, Meryl Kelly's in trouble, by the way. Now he gives up a base hit. Nobody out, 1-1 in the bottom of the second. Here at Candy's Playhouse, my guy, Jimmy over here, he's getting married. Jimmy, why don't we have you come up here on stage? I wouldn't touch the pole. There's some bacteria on there, but just kind of come over here. Here's a folding chair.
I just want to thank you all.
Yeah, not a comfortable chair. Not like
It's just
throne.
a chair. Just a chair.
It's like a metal folding chair.
It's you know what it is? It's a wrestling chair that they beat people up with.
And we're all like, let's go, Jimmy! Woohoo! Yeah, Jimmy! Jimmy! Let Jimmy, you get yours, buddy. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. And he's like, all right, now, here's Cheryl and Cinnamon. They're going to come up here, and they're going to celebrate Jimmy's pending nuptial. All right. Hey, Cinnamon, turn on the music, Freddie. All right, Cinnamon, let's get out here. Here comes Cinnamon, and she clearly is, she's top tier, creme de la creme.
So she's ESPN.
At this, well...
Maybe not ESPN.
She's like the Ocho.
Okay, the
so
Ocho.
anyway, Cinnamon comes out, stacked, racked, packed, ready to go. Yeah, exactly.
Stay hard.
Right? Like, she's just ready to go. And she's like, okay, hi, Jimmy. And she walks up behind him, and she's massaging. We're like, Jimmy! Let's go! Hot dog sandwich in your pants!
Go!
Woo! We're like, hell yeah!
I'm pumped.
And she's like, Jimmy, do you want to, and I'll never forget this. Jimmy, do you want to play a game with Cinnamon?
I want it.
And he like nods his head like, oh, motorboat time. Yeah, let's go. She's like, okay, in this game, we blindfold you.
Just take a dice at AC.
And Jimmy's like, all right, let's do this. They blindfold him. And in our game, what we're going to do is take off your shirt. Okay. They take off his shirt, and Dad Bod God is sitting up there with a blindfold on. And they're like, okay, stand up. Let's spin you around.
You know.
And they proceeded to yank his underwear out from his pants in a wedgie like I have never seen before. And the whole crowd was like, I will never forget. Let's go, Joe. God, Jimmy. Dude, like I will never forget it. He had on those plaid cotton boxers we talked about. Blue and green plaid boxers.
That he had been sweating it all night.
And she ripped them off. He fell flat on his face. He rolled over to get up, and she sat right on his face and danced for like 20 seconds.
Dude, longer than Patino, though.
Yeah, not a 2-pump Chuck.
It's probably different than what you're thinking, though.
It was one of the most terriblest things I have ever seen. And then all the other dancers proceeded to give him lap dances while he was laying on his back on their stage. And all the dudes were just raining money up there. And I was in the back talking to one of the, how shall I say, understudies.
Right.
It was one of the most uncomfortable nights of my life.
Okay, that's enough. Stop, please.
Dude, I've never understood it. I've never understood it.
Yeah. Sounds insane.
Brandon Butler says, so you're saying they were $199 versus $9.99 membership.
Correct.
Level strippers. Yes.
Gumby
Extra Regular says the disco music stops. When was this? 1975?
Yeah.
Exactly. Mr. Preston says the produce isn't fresh. Exactly. Gumby Extra Regular says pro tip, strobe lights. Strobe lights light. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Jorge says Jake having a great time in Japanese.
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Yes, he is. Exactly right. The Great Dane says he put his face in a place that will never be a cleanly place. That was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And I admittedly, I've never had a lap dance, and I've never been like champagne room guy. Never. Now, I will say I have had offers in the massage parlor, but it's just
you almost went Bill Belichickian.
Yeah, it's just it.
Can you measure it?
And I'm not downgrading anyone who is
about that life,
a professional. I find it to be disgusting. I'm not a stripper guy at all.
Right?
Maybe it's because I'm 50. Maybe I don't know, but I am not. No, Hullabilly says, and then Cinnamon popped out her Cinestick. Oh, geez, could you imagine that?
Can you measure it?
Dude, do you know how much pain you had to be in?
Dude.
To have your boxer shorts ripped out the back of your khakis.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm
good, dude.
No, man.
I'm good.
No. Jet Wayman says 1 pump, 2 pump, here comes the pump truck. Jeez. Okay. Yeah, I've never understood that whole thing.
Yeah, it's just a different thing, dude.
But again, this is why I go back to Donnie and Stormy Daniels. Why Stormy Daniels? You're Tiger Woods. Why all of those porn stars and call girls? Why a Perkins waitress behind? Like, Tiger Woods was sick. Like, he was sexually addicted.
Right.
Right? Why is the president of the United States banging Stormy Daniels? Now, it's for his presidency. I get it.
Right.
But what are you doing?
Whatever he wants, dude.
Well, apparently.
Yeah. Literally, whatever he wants.
Yeah. Gary says Monty experienced G5 strippers and now P5 strippers. Exactly. Exactly right. This is the thing that and that's why when I look at John Morant, I'm like, dude, you just don't have a healthy respect for your level of death.
Yeah, you don't get it.
You don't get it. I just am not.
Yeah, dude, you don't get it. And I'm not sure that he does get it now. Time will tell.
Stormy Daniels is going to undo the former president.
Dude, I don't know what you were thinking, man. Don't know what you were thinking.
And the difference with Tiger Woods is he had all the hot women he wanted,
and he wasn't trying to be the president.
And it just wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. That's the thing I don't understand. And we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Like, okay, so you're married to a 10. Yeah. Like, she's unbelievable. How long until that's no longer amazing for you? Is it before you're even engaged? Is it 50? Because as men, we're consumers.
Right.
I think especially in marrying ages, in your 20s, we're consumers.
Right.
There's no doubt about that.
Right.